This is Tiger's Chess Academy, and today we're going over the Evans Gambit, which is a trick variation in the Italian game. And if you don't know how to go against it, well, obviously you're gonna lose the game. So today we're covering this variation, and this variation starts with e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, and bishop c4, bishop c5. Now white plays this move b4. Now when you take a first look at it, it looks like white just hangs their b4 pawn, right? But it comes with a reason. Like if you take here, which is most people's option, white will play the move c3, getting your bishop away. And here, if you don't know what you're doing, like if you just play back, put your bishop here. Now white can play d4, and when white does so, after take, white has this big center, and your bishop and knight is very passive. He has a big center, and he can push you back at any second, push your pieces back. So white is better in this line. So in here, my advice for you is to play the move bishop a5. Although white can still play d4 here, you place a pin on the king here, so that your bishop is not gonna your bishop is not gonna be very negative in all positions. For example, if you put it in d6, now it's first of all the bishop, it blocks a d5 pawn from going on, which is getting the bishop out. Second of all, the bishop literally does nothing there rather than guarding this pawn. And well, you can compare this bishop with this, or with this bishop, and well, you can tell that this bishop is way better than this bishop. So that's why you don't play bishop d6. And another variation here is to play the move bishop e7, but although bishop e7, again, there's another problem, is at d4. And while d4, after d4, if you take, white has this big wide center again, and you can do nothing about it. Can't play d5 here, or else it's just hanging a pawn without no reason. So here you play bishop a5, and also another option remains, and that is bishop f8. Oopsies, sorry for that. It's bishop f8, although it has no reason. Like, why would you return your bishop to its starting square? So the only move remains here is bishop a5. And after bishop a5, white still plays this move d4, hoping that you will take it. And after, say, if you take it, which is a mistake, as you can see, it's a question mark here, white will castle, and if you become still greedy and you see this, you still grab this pawn, now white has this move queen b3, attacking the f7 pawn. And after you play queen f6, white has this move bishop g5, hitting the queen right here, and your queen's only square is queen g6, because, well, you still have to guard the f7 pawn. Like, say you play queen e6, white has this bishop f7 here, and as you can tell from the engine bar, or the evaluation bar, white is way better here. So you must play queen e6 in this variation, and after you play queen e6, and after white takes this pawn, you can see from this position that white has all his pieces developed, and meanwhile you have all your, you have this rook sleeping in your 8th line, and you're just bishop doing absolutely nothing. So although the evaluation bar says it's almost equal, like it's close to equal here, I disagree. I have an opinion that this is better for white, like for a human. So in here in this position, oopsies. So in this position, you don't take the pawn, you play the move d6, which if he takes a pawn here, you just take back as a pawn here, and well, it's an equal game, obviously. And that is not what white wants to see if he plays the Evans Gambit, because obviously he gambited a pawn. He wanted to kill. He wanted to rip open your king side. He didn't want to go like d6, and after you take and go for a draw, peaceful draw like queen d8, knight d8. He doesn't. So he won't go for this line, and so the line he'll go for here is the move queen b3, which attacks the f7 pawn, and here black plays queen d7 instead of queen e7, which if you play queen e7 here, you give white the chance to play d5 here, hitting the knight. And if your queen was in d7 right here, your knight could retreat to e7, but obviously your knight is in c6, so your knight can go d4. But after take, the position is very complicated. But as you can tell from the engine bar, white is almost a bit better here. So he plays a move queen d7 here, saving the square for the knight if he plays d5. And here, white plays castle. Like, the thing is, you don't need to be afraid of d5 here. Like, for beginners, this is like, oh, he's gonna crush me. But the fact is, he isn't. Because you can play knight e7 here, and after say castle, knight f6, and like knight bd2, and castles, you can play knight e8 f5 and start attacking the big white setter. And meanwhile, white can do absolutely nothing here. This bishop is useless. It cannot threaten this king even one bit. So that's why we're not afraid of d5. So right here, white will play castle here, and then black will play bishop b6 here, the move bishop b6, which, well, a thing to notice here is not to play knight f6, because if you play knight f6, after white takes this pawn, and you take this pawn, there's this move bishop a3, and also you open this diagonal, so the queen is very positive now. Well, negative, sorry, not positive. So I have rook d1 hitting the queen, and once the queen escapes the queen e7, say bishop a3. Now those two bishops are, well, killing black, and they are gonna lead white to victory. So right here, you don't play knight f6 because, like, say you play bishop b6 and he takes, you can just ignore him and play this move knight a5, hit this queen and knight here, and now after say like queen b4, after you take, and knight e7, the thing is, it's an equal game again. There's a little bit of complexation, but I like black more. I tend black more because, well, you have the double bishops. So white will play, like, say he plays bishop e3, and now you can play this move knight a5, which is why you play bishop b6 here. You want to get the square away for the knight. And after bishop e3, knight a5, and say queen b4, after take, knight f6, for example, or maybe queen e7, defending this pawn, or you can just sacrifice the pawn away because, well, the pawn isn't actually mastered because it was a gambit for white, and now once he takes, for example, you just take back, and after he takes, you play either queen e6 or queen e7. It's a very okay position, and it's very equal for both. Well, it's not very equal. Like, I tend to black more in this equal position because, again, you have the double Bs, you have the double bishops. And so that's it for today, guys. And hope you learned pretty much from the Evans Gambit, and hope you trick other guys with it or don't get tricked by other guys by it. So see you and have a great rest of your day.